Hello! Good heavens! I was off getting drinks. Goodness me, why does all the exciting stuff always happen when I'm not sat down? Anyway, thank you, Agestilence, for the raid. Thank you, Magical Boy Cupid. Hell yeah, could do with more Magical Boys around these days. For the follow, and thank you, Sheena, for the 4-month resub, and thank you for gifting a sub to Gestilence. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the raid, and just in time and all. Anyway, though, for those who don't know me, howdy there, I'm No Superman. You all can call me Sam, and I am an enjoyer of oldies, goldies, and indies. And today we are playing a indie goldie with The Shadow over Cyberspace. It is a eldritch horror visual novel set in the late 90s. Please don't chainsaw the daughter. I will do no such thing. What made you think I ever would? Hello again, Two-Flower. Welcome. Right, let's get into it then. I'll not keep everybody waiting. There we go. End of December 12th. So, when last we left off, the mysterious digital demon dog, dubbed Daemon, told us that there is a cure to our slowly escalating madness.
As goes America,
There he
so
is.
goes the world.
Hi, you prick. Oh, we got the MIDI. Is that the national anthem? I think it is. Big bowl with big dinner. Nice. I had a whole heap of leftovers today. But yeah, this git. But it's actually the song he's quoting the lyrics from. Ah. Okay. My Americana is not great, if the accent didn't give it away. Game is listed as Modem Punk Horror. Correct. What is that genre? Like late 90s CRT monitors, smoky white plastic, that kind of thing. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. This game was written only last year, I believe. Bather screaming free Meagle. Not if I can help it.
Here, freedom makes her last endeavor. Fails she, and all is lost forever. Finer lyrics were never written. We have guided ships safely to shore. Our economy reshapes that of other nations. Our culture overrides their outdated values.
Oh boy. We're going to have some stern words for you. Where's Emma Emmerich when you need her?
We spread freedom and democracy to every corner of the map, by Bible and bullet.
Yeah, especially that last one.
One world under our banner,
I think that's
with
Cthulhu
all
Grey, isn't it
troublesome
great?
elements boiled away in the great American melting pot. My plan for humanity may be merciless and brutal, with considerable sacrifice, but it is the only path towards long-term survival.
I'm sure that's what you've deluded yourself into believing.
And yet, you conspire with my would-be rivals and killers. You work against your own nation and your own species.
No, just against you.
Why do I allow it? Why haven't I stepped in to step on you? Because I want you to talk with the old ones, to see their fixations, obsessions, and failures laid plain. You'll see that if you elevate any of them to the throne, it will mean the destruction of everything you hold dear. You would doom the world. I believe in you. I believe you will ultimately hold faith in your fellow man and will make the right decision. We will stand side by side in relay at the dawn of the 21st century. Because as goes America, so goes the world. And I am America.
It's quite amusing listening to Jacob Burgess read out these lines, because I've been following him on YouTube and various other places for quite a while. He's the nicest guy. He's an absolute charmer. He's lovely. Like, there's a whole series of him DMing a Vampire the Masquerade series on YouTube. You can look it up. It's called Not a Drop to Drink. It's really good. He's the nicest dude, but hearing him say this stuff is so, like, at odds in my brain. We don't talk about Bike Club. Nope. Rule 1 of Bike Club. Sheena getting the double motivation today. Goodness me. Alright. We got a message.
Hey, it's me. Wanted you to know I'm still alive and kicking. We split up, lost our tails, found a new hideout. Abandoned warehouse. Gonna hold up here for the rest of the month to be safe. We've got power and phone lines, and that's all we need. And a bunch of junky old arcade games, which is nice for dealing with the boredom. Glad the ally I sent your way has been useful. He's a good dude. You're right to bring him into the fold on this one. I'll call when we've settled in. And don't forget to eat this tape.
I'm not eating an answering machine tape, thank you. Just pop it out and demagnetize it like I've done with the others. Just chuck it in the microwave, it'll be fine. Right. Anything in the fridge? Sandwich. Okay. The time is the 13th. Henry's organising a LAN party for Saturday. Nice. WTF? What's up? What happened? Your breathing just went left ear, right ear, left ear? That's curious. I have my mic input is set to mono. This isn't a stereo mic. That's a curious one. Ventilation ASMR. Ugh, I hate ASMR. Howdy, buddy. Right. Let's check the old progress. How cooked is our brain right now? Zero order, 10 chaos, 90 humanity. Okay, we've not made any significant gains in any direction. So, one thing that I quite nice little detail that I've been enjoying so far is all of the stuff that we've been reading here, like all of these pages, have come up in some way. There's been a couple of moments where we've used this information to put some of the people on the spot. The only one that we haven't really the two that we haven't really leveraged yet is Polybius and Good Neighbours. Curious how we're going to use those. So, A Mind Forever Voyaging. It's mind-blowing. Yes, it's pure text adventure from the 80s. No CD audio sound, no 3D effects. Just 40 or 80 columns of hard black and white text. Huh? Every night you talk to another one, past the intro you get a search you can leverage against another. Yeah, we've managed to chain about 3 of those so far. Okay. Good old Infocom. Yeah, I remember those boys. Text adventures were god tier back in those days. You had to use your imagination to explore story-driven worlds. You had to think. None of this growly space marines shooting at hell aliens or whatever. No. You had to actually open your mind and think. God, that... History does run in cycles, doesn't it? We had that at the end of the 90s, and then we had it again during the 2010s. So, the premise is this. You, as in the player, are a sophisticated computer-simulated life form named Perry Sims, aka Prism. And this hit the market 3 years before the first artificial mind, so points for prognostication, baby. Your task is to simulate the effects of a new social policy going into place. Will it help society? Will it hurt people? After the first test, things look good. Higher standard of living, people are happy, all that jazz. But then, the scientists say, hang on, this is all just short-term gain. What happens in the long term? And they realise all these policies will lead to utter disaster, as greedy short-sightedness leads to collapse. And then the government tries to shut it down. There's some action as you race to lock them out of the facility, yada yada, not important. What so many gamers didn't understand is that the whole thing was a massive steaming dump on Reagan, Bush and Thatcher. The idea that conservative lockdown and corporate excess will ultimately wreck everything, and any so-called benefits are illusory. Anyone tries to harken back to the good old days is selling you a lie. Man, remember when Reagan, Bush and Thatcher was as bad as it was going to get? Oh boy. Remember when Blair was as bad as it was going to get? Eesh. It was a game from 1985 and it still had more brains than half of the yahoos in Washington today. So when you're sick of shooting aliens, go soak in a little forward-thinking economic and social philosophy. It'll do you a world of good. I'm a safe apolitical game developer and not a brand risk. Hands are absolutely freezing. Probably not helping. Okay, so we have a bunch of information that we've not really leveraged yet, which is a Mind Forever Voyaging, Polybius, and Good Neighbours. Curious. I thought we could leverage the Good Neighbours thing about with Hastur, because that was a good example of like really flagrant bias. Some monkey paws in bulk these days. Pre-curled for your convenience. Right. So who do we feel like talking to tonight? So we've spoken to. We've done a round. Christo-fascist weenies. Yeah, I love the idea of just like unironically calling somebody a weenie. So we've done one round with each of the big four. I'm wondering if we maybe want to keep doing that. Camera, behave, I'm just taking a drink. So elegantly disarming. I mean, nobody expects you to roll out the 10-year-old insults. Call somebody a big smelly doo-doo head. So.
Scum.
Who do we want to talk to? Ah, no 3 for 3 on the judgment cuts.
Scum.
More's the pity.
Scum.
Sheena feeling motivated.
Scum.
Alright. I feel like Hastur is probably the person that we have like the most information to leverage on. Because we have the information about good neighbours and
Scum.
there we go. Colonel gets it. But Hastur is probably the one that we've got like the most information that we can discuss with. Because we have Polybius and Good Neighbours. I'm not sure who a Mind Forever Voyaging would fit. Choices, choices. Any preference from the audience? Anyone at home got somebody in particular that they want to talk to, or would sound like Yog? No, I think he was the one that gave us that information. I think he Yog-Sothoth was the one that gave us the info on A Mind Forever Voyaging in the first place. Azathoth? Okay, Sheena would like to see Azathoth. Let's talk to Azathoth for more gems like the prior. You know what? Let's go for it. I think we were making some good progress with her before. Hi. Oh boy. Oh, you say that now. Wait a minute. You'll see the real expression in a minute. See exactly why. Whereas you're on the right track, huh? Everything's fine. Scary, spooky, creepy. Instead of horrifying, mind-warping fear, I'm debating the final points of social justice and politics. It's weird. Wanted it to be scary? Not want so much as expected. It is scary to be an old one. Your mind torn from your body, hovering in a digital... Yeah. You know, Lafayette told us about this, about how it's very much being in the sensory deprivation tank. Not an inanimate object, not dead, stuck in some midpoint between everything we think of as normal. Can't imagine it more horrifying than that, if you actually stop and think about it. Yay! So we'll just stop thinking. No thoughts. Head empty. Self-care. Yep. Cheers. Camera! Will you behave? I'm sipping. Ugh. So, how did you come to join with Team Cthulhu? And the old ones are rallying under his banner, so why you? Maybe help me understand why I should join in his camp if you explain the way he recruited you. Oh boy. You will in a minute. If we maybe hit a subject that gets her kind of frantic, then tell you how I became an artificial mind first. Were you one of the undesirables too? Because we found that document that said they were testing the artificial mind process on people who were not likely to be missed. I work with computers. He sold computers. He sold the idea of computers. He was only a teenager at the time. He said when he was a teenager, he got his first job. So it was time to ponder career moves. The old man wanted me to be a carbon copy of him. Wife, kids, house, dog, house in the suburbs, where else I go to work. To tell him. To smile and nod when the fucker plotted my path, or my mum would get mad at me. She was the hammer, he was the anvil. She's the one who pushed me to do sports instead of drama, who conveniently lost my nice clothes in the wash. There we go. So there's part of the real face. Oh boy. Okay. So number 3. This idea, number 3, there's always a fine line between empathizing and making it about you. So, friends beat family any day of the week. Yeah. Or the old ones could be a new family. I mean, she's already kind of decided that Cthulhu's her. Did you mute? No, I'm still here. Meters are still jumping. So, I think one thing is that because I've got the noise gate on, if I start mumbling, it might cut me off. Seems fine. Okay. 1 is what you would go through. I'm torn between 1 and 3. Cthulhu's hurt. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't me muting. That was like me trailing off and mumbling. But yeah, I was going to say she seems to be fairly well decided in regards to number 2, that Cthulhu's like as the only family as far as she cares. No, look, we're going to agree. Friends beat family.
Scum.
Friends and Seinfeld and all those great shows. Don't like Roseanne or any show where the family's always arguing and fighting. Ugh, I hate those I hate those kinds of shows for a whole different reason. Because,
Scum.
like, I'm in a very lucky position that me and my family don't argue a whole lot. But I hate those kinds of shows because they rely entirely on contrivance, and the only way that the plot happens is because people don't fucking talk. So I don't like those shows from a perspective as someone who writes scripts. So I was just like, if you sat down and just explained for half a second. Oh boy. Maybe one day when Cthulhu drowns this world in hate and blood and purges the weak, they'll make a sitcom about me. Oh, they'll do one better. They'll make a visual novel, which are way more exciting. Slap some meat on your face. Right. Next step. One day Grandpa took me to work. Wanted to show off his office, give me a taste of the real world. Touring his computer lab, I got distracted, got bored and wandered around. I don't know what happened, but I saw this strange yellow symbol on a monitor. My mind burned. Okay. You don't need my permission, go get food! You're a grown man. Okay. So she got just like fucking supersonic blasted by the yellow sign. I would be a terrible teacher, what do you mean? I've got zero patience to work in that. So he uploaded me, made me an artificial mind, completing the process, the only way to save any parts of me. Entirely by accident, they made me who I was meant to be. I should probably be thankful I wouldn't be the wonderful girl I am today, I'd be stuck in that flesh, the wrong flesh. But no, never forgive him for this. Oh. Oh. Hastur was her grandpa. Holy shit. So after you became an artificial mind, you found Cthulhu? No, he found me. I was held captive on Nomitech servers while they tried to figure out what to do with me. Cthulhu found me and freed me. Cthulhu gave him a new name, Azathoth. A new name for a new woman, he said. You don't actually use that name, you go by Azachan, right? Azachan is cuter, this way I'm still sort of using his name for me to show respect. So if you had to choose your own name from the start instead of being given one, what would it have actually been? Distracting me from story time! Okay, continue. Cthulhu acknowledged me, my shape, my truth. He showed me the blood-drenched shores of Relier. It's not just some computer in a dusty server rack, it's more than electrons and silicons. It's an idea made real. They wanted a forever president when they cast their blighted patterns across an integrated surface. What they got was a lucid dreaming god. And now I'm part of that dream. I'm bringing about the strange eon. My egg is cracked and I'm about to become delicious. So that's the... Okay. 1, That's the ambiguity that I mentioned yesterday, is that there does seem to be an element of magic going on here. There is something actually otherworldly. And we already know the answer to number 3, is because in order for the strange eon to come about, Cthulhu needs to tweak the direction that popular culture is going in. But number 2 is funny. Well, that's what I mean, is that we already kind of know that there is something magic going on here. And as for number 3, we already know the answer to that one. So, how tasty? Let's get tasty. How tasty are we talking? What's the depth of your role? There has to be something... There's be more to it than being a forum moderator. Let me feel it. Anyway, just beam this into my head. All the old ones have a piece of the puzzles. The underground rage, the algorithmic manipulation, the absolute control. There's the face. The boggle-eyed madness. And then me. This nexus of madness, self-selecting echo chambers to filter and distill hatred into a weapon of change. New media, social media, a feedback loop which can perpetuate itself with no need for facts or reality. I do see, I've been on Twitter, not so much anymore, but yes. The Bird Jail, the Instamatic Cloud of Clout, the Book of Faces. I mean, when you put it in that term, it does sound a bit more biblical, but... Hear the distant echoes. I don't know why I know those words, but what the images mean, but... So many shapes, so many communities, so many friends. All possible thanks to Cthulhu. Cthulhu has a plan for me, for you, for everyone. It will be so beautiful. It's not going to work. Like the story in A Mind Forever Voyaging. Sure, for the short term it looks possible. Purge the weak, rally the strong, and so on. But Yogg-Sothoth ran long-term solutions. He's predicting that in most scenarios the strange eon eventually collapses humanity. It's like running along a razor's edge. Certainly possible, but more likely you'll either fall or get cut in half. The idea that destruction, hate, and the elimination of all safety nets lead to eternal sustainability doesn't hold water. Yogg-Sothoth doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a big poo-poo head. Called it. Only dreams in numbers. I dream. Don't let your memes be dreams, and don't let your dreams be memes. You don't have any doubts about this scheme for yourself. I'm getting the feeling that you're selling yourself on the idea as much as you're selling it to me. Oh boy. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but you need to think. You are special, but you need to think for yourself. An honest community breaks all boundaries. It serves so many different groups, all mixed and tangled together. It's resistant to social bubbles because there's no control mechanism. Everybody lives side by side and can speak freely. Like Hastur's Precious Carcosa Online, which shelters and isolates and purges all independent thought. Leverage web research. We're 3 for 3 on that. We've managed to successfully cash in on some research every time so far. As there's only independent thought, it's the mind unfiltered, and Cthulhu gave it to me as a coming out present. To be fair, the mind unfiltered can get you in a lot of trouble. I've nearly been punched a couple of times because I just wasn't thinking about what I was saying. Like when I was a brief story time, when I was a kid, I had a real problem with just the first thought that came into my head, I would just speak out loud. Zero filter. And so I got in trouble a couple of times because of that. She hates that but likes you better. Yeah. We're on. I think we're on the verge of getting through to Arza here. I don't think she likes us enough for us to really drop that bomb. Yeah, let's see if we can plant the seeds of sympathy. Acknowledge that anyone is capable of sympathy. Even history's greatest monsters can show kindness at times. Maybe some part of him genuinely does care for you and wants you to succeed, and he keeps telling me how much he cares for me. But I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for to learn what Cthulhu's true motives are. Because I don't think for a minute that he actually cares. Yeah, but the thing was, he was the first one to show you more kindness than your family did. Yeah, so immediate sunk cost fallacy at the first hurdle. Because if he's not, I don't know if I could live with myself. Oh, lady, we need to sit you down with some therapists. Like plural, several therapists. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. I fucking love that sketch. That's like my favourite of the loading ready runs. Need a battalion, like working in shifts. Good night, Azathoth. That night I had a weird dream. I was full to bursting and they kept stuffing more in. More in the bins, more in my head. Couldn't keep track of it all. Every single bit of scrap I needed to evaluate the recycling potential, but it just kept coming. This is what I deserve. I'm trash. Fill me up with garbage. Fill me until I explode. Shower this world in its own waste. Yes, I would happily embrace the end. That explosion of shrapnel and wiring and glass. Destroy myself, destroy the world. They say they're saving the planet. They're putting off doomsday. Let them embrace it. Breach the red line. Make me burst. Ugh. Ugh. Alright. Tuesday. The clock is ticking. Okay. We are having a short ad break. I'm going to take a moment to refill on water. We will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Feel filthy on waking. I need a shower if I'm going to do anything of value today. Oh, actually answer a phone call these days. Maybe it's Clyde. Moshi Moshi.
Congratulations! You won the Monaco Royal Lottery. A cash prize of $1 million is waiting at your local customs office, ready to be claimed. To claim your $1 million reward, all we need is an upfront transfer fee payment of $500. To set up a direct transfer, all I need is your social security number and bank routing information.
Oh boy. How gullible do they think I am? Hell no. Hell no. Moving on. Sandwich. Right. Let's do some research. Hey, buddy. Incoming message. Ah. This is someone else. They appear to be using a generic, randomly generated username. My trust rating is not high. Normally I'd block on sight, but we're in strange times. There's an outside chance this is important. Alright. On 0451. Alright. Alright, Shodan, what do you want? What? I'm watching over you, you are safe. Who I am is less important than who you are. You are the heir to the Necronomicon. The chosen of Alhaz has spoken of in prophecy. The one who will slay Cthulhu and free us from the tyranny of the strange eon of Y2K. No, you're not AFK, you're simply uncertain how to proceed. You're already on the path. The stones were laid out before you 10 years ago. I represent a group that could, in coarse and unpleasant terms, be called the Cult of Dagon. We do not worship that Mongol. Our interests are simply aligned. He is an abomination, as all artificial minds are, but Cthulhu is the pinnacle of abominations. You know the prophetic read me of Alhaz, you know what I speak. Daemon shields you from those who would harm you, makes you invisible to their eyes, and agents that infest cyberspace. But that is the extent of his reach. We are the ones who can monitor your meat space form. We will watch over you and protect you. Hang on, you're stalking me? You want to put it in coarse and unpleasant terms, yes. Your suburban neighbourhood watch is very easily bribed to look the other way, while we stand watch over your home. Well, it's not like I can do much to stop you. I'm guessing that if I say fuck off, you will not, in fact, fuck off. Correct? Correct. This is a war for the freedom of humanity. Ensuring the downfall of Cthulhu overrides your comfort concerns. Take care to avoid contact, as you like. In the ideal scenario, you will never see or hear from us again. Simply know that you are safe, and we are watching. Great. Just great. Okay, new wrinkle. I can deal with this. Back to work. Hi, buddy. Can you download me a PDF on optimal knife fighting techniques? Ideally ones that can be done with a kitchen knife. Maybe. Probably. Doesn't feel good, though. Alright, time to do some research. So, what's this about social bubbles? Bubbles are supposed to be easy to pop, but I can't seem to do it. I'm supposed to launch soaring into adult independence. Instead, I followed the path my boomer parents gave me. Tools and steps and opportunities presented on plastic platter. I was supposed to use them to become my own man, but I just shuffled from one bubble to another. Social circles, friend groups, neighbourhood enclaves, Little League shifted back and forth across perfectly acceptable pockets established before I was even born. Upload it directly into his brain. Even my rebellion was preordained, filtered through fashion and cable television. The MTV generation sold counterculture as culture. Every box, every cage, every container designed to see some aspect of myself and carve it into a profitable facsimile of everyone else trapped in here with me. We're all on the plateau of Leng. We're all trapped in the Matrix. Oh yeah, 1999. First Matrix movies just dropped, if I remember right. All dancing at the end of piano wires. Our identities come with a warning label, break out or die. Yeah, if we ignore it in favour of a comfortable little grave prepared for us. And of course the obligatory response. Okay. Half expecting there to be just like a little dark figure standing next to that tree that you can see through the window. Alright. Nap time. So, I think it might be time to have a stern word with Hastur. Oh! I think we've walked in on something. Not safe there. Cthulhu's not your friend. He's a dangerous madman who's going to use and exploit you. Is this a bad time? Ugh. Move by side at Carcosa. Be safe from his wrath, please. Okay, that takes the fact that Hasta has been calling us Sparky in a new light. Trying to reconnect with the grandkid, huh? Trying and failing. Also make amends with Sparky, I just can't get a handle on the situation. Doesn't help that I can't get a handle on Sparky's new identity. It's like a missing memory. Something lost in the translation to artificial mind. A wound in my soul left by trauma translated into digital image. Alright. Let's try and help the old boy out. Sparky's a girl now. I want to accept that fact, but I'm not experienced with transvestite stuff, is that right? Transgender. Different word, different scope. Yeah. To be respectful of Sparky's wishes. Want to get this right despite feeling so clumsy and out of the loop. So how does this transgender thing work anyway? That's not easy to summarise. I know a lot, but I'm hardly an expert in gender studies. The best metaphor I can use is... oh, boy. Ugh. Gender is a performance. And, tonight's showing has been cancelled due to lack of interest. Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. I feel like number 2 is going to be the best option to get it through to Hastur. Because... he's an old guy set in his ways. If we say gender is a choice, he's not going to like that, because then that's going to probably mean... like, he's going to have to face up to the fact that everything he put Arza through was for nothing. And performance, this guy's a boomer. He's not going to understand liberal arts metaphors. Okay. Cross out the idea of male and female. Gender's a spectrum, not a binary 1 and 0. Maybe artificial minds have trouble with analog non-binary concepts? I could do floating point math quite handily, thank you. My point is that people exist across the spectrum. Not male, female, the non-binary in-betweens, or even agender, undefinable. Arza-chan may have seemed to be at one end of the spectrum, but in the virtual world she's free to be what she actually is. Artificial minds are the soul untethered from the flesh. Correct! Let you be who you truly are without the body's tangled chemistry dragging you down. She was tangled up in what we all assumed she was, forced to pretend to be something she's not. Oh, he gets it! Oh, he gets it! He'll be on the injustice I've already visited upon her. What? Damn it! The triggers have broken again. Hey there, Arthur. You've just lost 3 judgment cuts into the void, I'm afraid. Arza-chan from Cthulhu's influence. If you'll be lost, it will tragically become an enemy in the strange eon ahead. It's going well. I think we're on to something here. We've done a decent job of chaining information into other conversations here. This is going well, it feels like. Maybe we can avoid that, working with both of you, trying to find the best path forward. I hope I don't lose her in the process. Hang on, you said my actual name just now. Did? Wasn't I saying it before? Huh. We can stick with Robert. Old man's adaptable. I'll double my efforts, Robert. Thank you. Let's table my trouble with Arza-chan for now. I've eaten up enough of your time this evening with my worries. Alright. well, that went well. So, we asked Azathoth this question. Who are you before all this? So tell me, who was the human named Hector Jones? Congrats, you're a therapist for cosmic horrors beyond the coding. Fantastic. Man-made psychiatry beyond my comprehension. There's no was or were, only is and are. I remain Hector Jones to this very day. Even though you're an artificial mind now. Indeed, I'm a faithful man, so I believe in the indivisible soul.
Scum.
There we go. Refreshing, it worked. I was transformed. My soul's digital, but it's a soul all the same.
Scum.
Ascending to a higher form, then? A lateral move, I'd like to think. Improved in many ways, but still quite human. I don't consider myself a god. On a deep dive into the kind of philosophical nonsense that leads to god complex, look up the singularity sometime. Fat load of nonsense. I mean, I wouldn't say it's nonsense. Certainly a couple of 100 years away at the very least, but I feel artificial minds can retain their humanity. Our hearts can stay true no matter the physical form. And if some mythical superintelligence does emerge, who says it has to feel dissociated from human values? Is there a special judgment cut? And there is not. I tried to do it, but I couldn't get a good cut of the other Virgil Ultimates, like Deep Stinger and Hell on Earth. Yeah, because those slices that you see is very heavily keyed and blue-screened out from the actual game. Which was not so easy to do for the others. Yeah, I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. Alright. You need faith, Robert. Faith and optimism that this science is a gift, one which will be used for the betterment of mankind. Do we want to bring... Yeah, let's try and bring things back to the original discussion. To get back on track. Nature of the soul and artificial mind are going to be important topics moving forward as Carcosa rises to power. Let's not talk of the future. You wanted to know my past, yes? Okay, we'll review the history. I'll admit to being a bit directionless as a youth, which changed after Pearl Harbor. That gave me a razor-sharp focus. I'd always believed in the dream of America. Seeing assault on that dream by the growing ideology of fascism, well, that dog don't hunt. Signed up for service right away to defend my country. Marched off to war, lived in foxholes and camps until the fall of Berlin. Okay, so this guy's a full end-to-end veteran. You're entitled to say Digimon? No. I mean, we're not far off. We're not far off. I'll not go into the weeds regarding those years, Robert. Unpleasant business. Let's just say I kept to my values and saw the task through. It's okay. I'm not here to violate your boundaries. After completing my tour of duty, I took up a position as a door-to-door encyclopedia salesman. Never an educated man myself, self-taught on everything that mattered. Did my heart good to know I was helping lift up the minds of others. Okay. Ended up meeting my wife while running that job. Sold her the encyclopedias, then sold her on the many benefits of marriage. Tough sell, Robert. Toughest sale of my life. A woman who knew what she wanted and wouldn't settle for anything less than the best. I had to quit the vagabond life, settle down in a corporate office job, making myself available to raise the kids. Most men back there have their wives do all the work. That's not how we operated. Fair division of responsibility, even Stevens. Aha! That's a rarity for the 60s. Oh, I can feel my voice going. Hang on. Okay. Eventually, not at first, computers were clunky things the size of a room for a good long while. Didn't realise they'd be so danged important. Did consider a position at Hawk Alexandros Technologies off my veteran service, who have gotten me on the ground floor as a defence contractor. Good luck, enjoy, thank you for hanging out. Worked my way up the ladders before landing at Nomi Tech in the mid-60s. Earned every dollar through hard labour, no handouts, no nepotism. My father was a plumber, couldn't lift me up even if he wanted. So when I started at Nomi Tech, based on my experience, I started out high, assistant sales director, one notch below the top of the division. I think you can see how I ended up being called a king given my acumen. Okay. So why do you not also take up the wrench? Father was a hard-working man, earned my respect through his labour, did right by me and his customers. But I felt, how to put this, I felt I should do more. I should do something which helps elevate others. As I said before, work that bolsters America. Got an addiction to say, fair enough. Enjoy. No disrespect to him, but I wanted a more direct role in bettering the nation than ensuring our toilets flush correctly. Right. High ambitions, this man. When the Artificial Mind project came up, they assigned you to it. Indeed, not for my technical acumen, I was in sales, not programming. I could manage the team and sell the dream. I threw everything I had into supporting them, including my former partner Yosuke, the one calling himself Yogg-Sothoth now. The job was to emulate the human mind, tall order, but I felt we were up to it, especially with most of the work already done. Yosuke did mention that you were provided the AM project specifications. He speculated they came from the government. Yeah, derived from Polybius, or whatever MK Ultra nightmares that resulted in. Public-private partnership, but nothing beyond that. Quite normal. Fine engineering work, damn fine work, gave us a head start, leaping years ahead of where we'd been when we started from scratch. And we succeeded, brilliantly succeeded, despite setbacks. Deeply tragic setbacks. Yeah. The deaths of Azathoth and Yogg-Sothoth. The process of scanning the mind ended up destroying the mind, that's the tragedy. Yes and no. It's tragic, but we knew in that process... We knew going in that process would be impossible without brain damage. That was in the specifications from day one. Yosuke did his part with the yellow sign, making the process as smooth as possible, preparing the mind for the transfer. But when it came down to testing our work, how do you test something like that in an ethical manner? By using volunteers, I'd hope. You'd hope, yes, you'd hope. But at first, human test subject was an accident. Absolutely an accident. Aza-chan, who was part of your family. Yes. Brought Aza-chan to the lab one day, just a casual visit, show off Grandad's workplace, maybe instill a bit more work ethic. Distracted, some middle management asking my opinion on a contract, far too distracted. I came back, well, the yellow sign was already doing its work. Accidental exposure meant the process was underway. Jeez, even accidental exposure. Lost for what to do. The yellow sign can't be reversed, it's a one-way process. After exposure, I knew I'd either lose my kin, or we'd have to upload them into an artificial mind to save them. Jeez. Suppose an upload and Azathoth was made. Felt the preservation of life took priority. Better an AM than a corpse. Better to live as an immortal soul than perish. My daughter felt otherwise when she found out she agreed to keep the secret, if only because it was impossible to explain to anyone, but in the end I lost my whole family on that day. Oh god, so his home life unravelled as well. Here I can build something good. I can craft community that will save mankind where no one else will suffer. Yep, self-care. I can feel my voice going. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Kinda, doesn't it? As the King in Yellow, I could escape and establish an alternative. Carcosa, land of freedom to rival the strange Eon. I will make amends. I will make this right. Save humanity if that's what it takes to pave the road for the generation I lost. We sure do know. I'm not going to drop that bomb on it. That's kind of messed up. Wants a monopoly to save us from suffering. Artificial minds don't have to be a curse. No, let's escape the weakness of the flesh. This doesn't have to be a curse. It's important to realise that even with this tragic accident, or your own situation for that matter, there is hope. In the darkest hour, when the strange Eon looms and Nomitech's greed destroys life after life, we can still find hope. We can resist. In all things, there is always hope. Doing my best through Carcosa to ensure a better future, leveraging artificial minds for the elevation of mankind as a whole. So much yet to do, Robert. So many moves to make. It's all the same to you. I'd like to call it a night. Work's piling up on my desk. I've got strategies to devise. The thing is, Daemon said that Hastur is dangerously on the precipice of becoming a tyrant himself. We just need to make sure that he doesn't go down that path. One step at a time, one step at a time. Okay, we're making good progress here. Hi.
Hey, it's me. Checking to make sure you're alive. Can't risk going online yet, but I can freak a phone call easily enough. I was actually gonna swing by your house yesterday to say hi in person, but there was some weirdo surveilling the place in a van. I don't think it's the feds. Didn't feel like him. She felt like some creepy stalker. I ran her plates, but it's just a rental. I'll dig deeper on it. Be safe, okay?
Okay.
Promise I'll be back online soon.
Probably
Keep working
the
with the
weirdo
believer and we'll figure
cultists.
this crap out. Oh, and be sure to toss this tape down the garbage disposal when you're done listening to it.
Don't do that, you'll clog the fucking drain. It's probably that cult of Dagon jerk who contacted me the other day, watching over me. Need to find some way to reach out to them and whitelist Clyde so he doesn't get jumped from the bushes. Becoming a secret agent in a shadow conspiracy is proving to be a real pain in the arse. When do I get the attractive partner in the FBI badge that's supposed to come with this? When do I get to... Oh boy. Uh-oh. I think the old brain's blue-screened. There appears to be a transparency layer in the background. Oh boy. Blink my eyes repeatedly as words start pouring out the window in my kitchen. Food junk. Guess it beats much from clouds or toxic skies. I don't feel threatened by this one, just confused. Hey, buddy, you're not going to get weird on me again. Yep, there it is. Not in the mood. Watch me not care. Prick. Oh, hi, believer. Hi, my little UFO man. Supposedly had another hallucination. Appears to be hallucinations. Depends on your point of view. Human mind is a complex biochemical tangle. Consciousness isn't something we've quantified. It's possible the yellow sign is causing random neurons to fire incorrectly. It doesn't take much to tip our internal balance. But it's also possible the yellow sign opened a new door of perception. What you're seeing is actually there and always has been. But most people are unable to interpret the signals correctly. Our brains aren't wired to see it. Dude, I saw text like some kind of software error code hovering in my kitchen. Pretty sure that's not real. Oh no, don't do that. I got enough of the universe being a simulation when we were playing Remnant 2. Our consciousness could be thought of as a passenger peeking in on that simulated world through an avatar. Oh god. Have you been watching The Matrix again? Even if most are basically just the rapture for nerds. It's hard to know for sure. Reality itself is a matter of consensus. Maybe it's real and you're not losing your grip. But I don't want to trivialise people experiencing genuine mental health issues. Thank you for being mindful. Going through a horror movie scenario right now, and horror stories are notoriously bad at simplifying complex real-world problems. Oh boy! Two Flower, I know you're a fan of Loading Ready Run. I don't know if you've watched their streams, but there was one of Alex and Cameron, who are two members of Loading Ready Run, playing a game called Layers of Fear, and discussing how mental illness is very often what's the phrase I'm looking for? Misrepresented in media, because people like to feel like there's a distinction between crazy and normal. And if you start doing stuff in media like in horror movies, as Believer says, that actual mental instability does, which affects more people than certain subsets of people would care to acknowledge, you could really get under people's skin and freak some people out if you did that. So movie execs don't like doing that. For, on the one hand, understandable reasons. Because on one hand, you can make a really good horror movie, but on the other, a lot of the movie-going public would feel very targeted and probably would be rather upset. Not in the way you want them to be when you watch a horror movie, you know? Anywho... I want to be sure I'm not being dismissive or saying it's all madness. People suffer every day from that kind of stigma. Yeah. I like to think I've retained my humanity despite the forces of chaos and order tugging me this way and that. Yeah, I'm trying to go for the human ending. I think it's the other way around. I'd vibe with them better if I gave myself over to their power. Considering I want to survive the yellow sign, I'm going to hang on to every scrap of humanity I can. But, counteroffer, God! I'm an undivided boy myself. All of the benefits with none of the drawbacks, and I definitely won't get turned into a wad of flesh. Have another drinky. But yeah, we're trying to hang on to the old humanity here. How about we crack up in another one of your mystery box? Why not pile the scary on top of the scary? They'll, I don't know, cancel each other out. Sure. Cthulhu's followers. It's a Minesweeper in a while. Entertaining Slaneshi corruption currently by drawing big old booba. That's how it starts. And then you get tired of that and you... Dang it. Then you get tired of that and you have to go into even crazier shit. Dang it. Oh, I was mostly right on that. Alright, move on. Excuse the informal nature of this staff memo, but I'm sick and tired of this and I want to make sure it's absolutely clear. We are not a cult. Yes, we tirelessly serve the great Cthulhu. Yes, he has powers beyond what this project originally conceived. Yes, the strange Eon is coming and the inner circle will be elevated to enact his will upon the 21st century. Yes, we engage in human sacrifice, but we are not a cult. All we are is a perfectly normal, if off-the-books branch of the federal government dedicated to preserving the spirit of America, and in the somewhat literal spirit of its greatest living and now undying Oh god, is Cthulhu the fucking ghost of Reagan? Christ, I hope not. In the words of the great Trevor Belmont, I wish I could fucking kill you twice! We will elevate the useful ones to Cthulhu and punish the usurpers. We will dominate and destroy his enemies. We will encourage the public to devour itself in hatred and chaos. Blood will run like rivers in the streets as Y2K emerges with the birth cry of falling towers and burning skies. We are not a cult. Okay. So, I'm thinking they're a cult. Kinda hard to get any more cult-like than that. Of being called a cultist because I believe in Jesus. Really? You get flack for that? Not always, but way too often. I get flack from the other direction too, because if my parents knew I was gay, I'd be a nightmare for me. To hold my tongue whenever they complain about Hollywood perverts corrupting our youth. Yeah. Valid. It's important to me that I hold my own faith in my own way. I'm not here to tell anyone else what to believe. Hey! You're one of the good ones, actually. Jesus. As far as saying that Cthulhu was the president. I mentioned Polybius in one of your blog posts. I looked into it deeper. It was looking to use MK Ultra tech to brain scan someone important. Maybe it was Ronald Reagan. He died in 1985 at the start of his second term. Or did he? Cue scary music. We already knew that artificial minds were once human. I guess that means Cthulhu was built using Reagan's brain. But it's not like a carbon copy. It feels more... how do I put this? Reagan was only the seed. Cthulhu was what grew from that seed. And as always, we reap what we sow. Well, that's terrifying. The old ones aren't fucking around when it comes to powermongering. Collect my notes on this one. Alright. Best of luck out there, try not to get blackbacked. Hi, buddy. Let's do some research. So, what can we learn about the singularity? Technological singularity is a theory popularised by Werner Vinge in 1983, proposing that once an artificial intelligence is created that is greater than a human intelligence, it will become capable of self-improvement and will inevitably scale upwards to such a degree that such growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible. Uncontrollable and irreversible. While this sounds like a grim scenario for humanity, there are many advocates for the singularity, suggesting that because we can't see past the event horizon of what could come, that it may result in a utopian scenario in which automation solves many problems we face today. Nomitech feels that artificial minds are not capable of bringing about this theoretical event horizon. While they are a remarkable breakthrough in AI, using structures similar to the human mind, they are not capable of self-improvement and strictly perform as designed. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. Poor bloody Iris, man. That screenshot from the slideshow is still freaking me out a little bit. AMs are tools under the firm control of mankind. Any upgrades or expansions on these intelligences happen only at the behest of humanity. and the systems that power them are easily kept in check. There's no cause for concern. Recursive self-improvement is simply not possible. While Nomitech is looking to improve the capabilities of artificial minds, strict ethical protocols are in place to prevent the rise of a machine capable of such a cascade. AMs are imitations of thought, not thought itself. Imitations of life, not life itself. And there is no reason to be alarmed. So either they're lying, or they genuinely do not know what they've bloody unleashed here. I would suggest number 2. I think it's number 2. Because, again, that slideshow said when you're doing diagnostics on an artificial mind, it may make unsubstantiated claims, air quotes. So I think that Nomitech genuinely do not know what they're dealing with here, because they've been lied to by the CIA about exactly what the nature of this technology is. Okay. I think it's time we had a word with Yogg-Sothoth. I think we've gathered a decent amount of information that would be of interest to him. Assuming that Daemon doesn't take up the whole night. Okay, it will take up the whole night. Alright. This is a pattern. Expect a collect call from the Hellhound at full moon and third quarter 2. What it wants this time. Hi. Emphasizes duality, and thus I can appreciate it like no other. You're a very odd one. There's something you wanted to talk about, or did you interrupt my work just to wax poetic about the moon? I believe it's the other way around. You have something you want to talk about. Did you seriously send a bunch of cultists to spy on my house? Okay, that was a rhetorical question. I can't say I expected a no. Care to explain how they found me? No, as in I did not send them to spy on you. Why would I need to? You were already doing as you were told. But yes, I did send them to protect you, to watch over you. I can shroud you from view in cyberspace, but in meat space I can do nothing. My cult must handle those matters on my behalf with discretion. It's the same lines they fed me, almost word for word. I mean, I'm getting the distinct feeling that nothing I say here is going to change this guy's mind. Daemon is very much holding the sword of Damocles over my head. Fine. Don't like the value, but I can see the value. This whole mess is a goddamn web of conspiracy bullshit, and the last thing I need is to reach out to the cops if I get in trouble. So-called law enforcement of your society exists to protect property, not people, and ultimately Cthulhu's thralls. Never trust an enemy to watch your back. Oh, and your cult aren't my enemy. You keep saying I'm your prey. My prey and respected partner in the hunt. The duality... Oh, meh. The authorities of your world will hold no light, only shadow. If they realise it or not, they are tools of a corrupt system. The system must be destroyed. That very much we agree on. You think knocking off the top guy is going to magically end systemic oppression? Oh, certainly not. Yeah. In fact, I suspect whomever you elevate will institute a whole new nightmare engine in its place. But I don't care. I have one foe and one foe only. The aftermath is not my business. Well, at least you're honest about it. My cult is honest in turn. Cult Daemon, as they call themselves, that only call themselves that out of spite. They loathe me. They loathe all artificial minds. They are creatures of the digital underground, followers of Alhaz first and foremost, prophets bound to his divine readme. Their interpretation is thus: death to the yellow sign, tear down the gods before it is too late. Sounds like they'd love Lathotep's crew then. Hardly. All gods means all gods, including the crawling chaos. And including me. They share my goal of Cthulhu's destruction, but once the task is complete and the strange eon averted, I am their prey. Like to kill your cult once it outloses usefulness then? It would be a wonderful turn, wouldn't it? Hunter and prey, light and shadow, first quarter sliding into last quarter. But perhaps not. Perhaps it would be time to lay down. You'd do that? You'd let them strike you down after all that? Born of Buddy, twisted into Daemon, I am a response, not an individual. I have no desire to go on as I am. It leaves me with reintegration or death. I know not which road I will. Oh! Yeesh. On purpose, the so-called Cult of Dagon will be useful protecting you. That is the order of things. Okay, alright. At least tell your cult not to hassle my friends if they show up on my doorstep. Clyde and Henry. I mean, Henry's going to show up on Saturday to take me to a LAN party, so your cult's going to follow me to the party, aren't they? Of course. I will ensure they do not involve themselves. They will remain hidden, as you are hidden from the old ones. Except Cthulhu. Hidden from him. He keeps popping up in my living room with that psychic chat. I cannot block him. The throne of Relay, pumping the blood of the 23rd child, grants him unthinkable power. He's all-seeing and all-powerful. How come he hasn't crushed you? He could have stepped up a little war before it got this far. Oh, I see. Cthulhu's so confident that he can beat us that he's not making any effort. He convinced Alhaz to turn away back in 1990. The weapon was loaded and ready to fire, but Alhaz abandoned the path. I'm not the least bit surprised. He's running the same play as you. Do not believe his lies. He offers nothing of value. Two raises an interesting question, because we don't know exactly what Dagon's beef with Cthulhu is. I take out Cthulhu, another old one rises in his place. Do you hunt them too? Cycle of control and violence, we just be turning the wheel. Only one prey. Once he is dead, nothing else matters to me. I've said that before and it remains true. It would be a great wheel of oppression, possibly, but that is your problem, not mine. I seek vendetta, not justice. Comforting. Since when have I ever offered comfort? Her? Who is her? I'll give it now. At least seek revenge and that will suffice. Fine. Not entirely comfortable with this, but I can see a reason. The cult can stay if it stays out of sight. Okay. What the fuck have I gotten myself into? Don't see any way out of this except through the centre of it all, hoping the walls don't cave in. Month is half over. Y2K is coming. I need to finish this or it'll finish me. So the fact that Dagon is still not really willing to spell matters out for us.
Hello? It's Henry. Henry from work? Yeah, hi. I swear, I keep just missing you and getting your answering machine. Okay, so we found a spot that can host our LAN party, and, it's in the basement of the old physics building. Not exactly friendly to your condition. Long hallways, lots of steps, no curb cuts, and, I swear, this whole school is an ADA lawsuit waiting to happen, but that's okay. It's okay. We're gonna figure this out. We'll borrow a wheelchair from the med students, and then, just build some damn ramps. If the school won't do it, we will.
Henry's a good dude.
I can't say they'll be up to any particular building code, but, it'll do for now. And maybe we can make them permanent later. I want you to feel welcome, This place is for all of us, and that includes you. I think we can pull together to make it happen. So if the school won't do the work, we will. Miskatonic United, go fighting otters, yeah! Yeah.
It used to be fighting squids until they realised the cute little artists would sell more branded sports merch.
I mean, no obligation. If you just don't wanna, the bowling thing, it's okay. It's okay. But if you do want to do this, drop me an email and we'll get the ball rolling. Get you a ride out here, a wheelchair, everything you need. So, I'll wait to hear from you, okay? Okay. Hang in there.
You're a good guy, Henry.
Well, are you going?
Mind your fucking business, you tentacle-headed fuck.
I think you should. This would be healthy for you. You're too fixated on unpleasant things man was not meant to know, caught up in the conflict of endless intersectionality. Instead, enjoy your life. Reap the benefits of America's technology and digital culture. You've earned this.
Wish I had a flip the bird button on this thing. The world-consuming horror planning to slowly drown the world in blood and sacrifice just said, have a nice day. And he's not wrong. This is within reach. They're willing to accommodate my needs. If last weekend was my low point, it's time to head for higher ground. I'll drop Henry an email. Hell yeah. Self-care. Vital important. Yay! I'm gonna send an email. Appreciate. I think that's a bit too intense. There we go, much better. Point stands, even if you do not. Now then. Alright. Quick check on the old progress. Have we actually made enough progress for any of the, old ones to move more in our favour? Now, Lathrop still isn't happy about us. Yogg-Sothoth is still indifferent. Hastur trusts me. Good. You're welcome within his walled garden, an honorary member of the King in Yellow's court. Tick! Okay, so we're at least on Hastur's good side. I think we need to have a chat with Yogg-Sothoth next, because we've gotten a whole... we don't have any new info to research. That's curious. Well, I'm surprised. I thought we had more stuff to research. Yeah, let's call up Yogg-Sothoth. We walked in on a chat between Hastur and Yogg-Sothoth. Having him to replace my head of market for months now. You knew I had my... Oh. Ah, they're having a business argument. Dear. Marketing is a horrible, unfortunately mandatory for convincing short-sighted masses to embrace the stars. Ow. Scratch my arm. Could not allow brilliant minds such as his to choose self-enrichment over perseverance. Had to... Wow! What is going on between you two? Might have done. Ooh. That's kind of messed up. Yogg-Sothoth, you fucking murdered a guy. What do you mean? It'd be nice if people chose longevity over immediate desire. But we face the strange eon. That choice is a luxury. Yeah, ethical violations mean people don't trust you. Breeds resentment and hate for your actions. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You are ignorant of the risks, though. Good God, man. You have to do things the right way by human ethical standards if possible. Ugh. Time makes fools of us all, and I intend to escape that trap. Yeah, you remember, you're fucking immortal. You have plenty of time to be made a fool of. To pass this repulsive branding exercise, my future will be sold to the masses. We're going to discuss other subjects tonight. You have a number of questions on your mind. Speak one of them and move on. We've been doing a lot of discussing of the past. Let's do that. Trying to decide whom I want to recruit for this journey and slay the dragon, remember? It helped to get to know you. Past is of no importance. There isn't some stark contrast between Yosuke and Yogg-Sothoth. We seem to be learning that Azathoth is the exception rather than the rule. Respond to both names because I am and always have been and always will be myself. Obtain the power of Yogg-Sothoth is irrelevant. I grew up yearning for space, and the stars are my destination. The origin point matters. If you just have a data snapshot at the end of the cycle, you can't see the overall path. It's very lucky that my character is Tech Head. Who's a childhood boring. Standard issue, late Showa era city living. Salaryman father, stay-at-home mother, plenty of anime to stimulate a young boy's dreams of spaceflight. Good anime too. Yamato, Gundam, Mazinger Z. Not the badly dubbed and rewritten garbage you've scraped together and dumped on VHS. Look, we're doing what we can here, alright? I know I've only watched Full Metal Alchemist and Gurren Lagann, but shut up. For access to the sum total of online discourse, I see the shape of every conversation about anime. I should withdraw from this particular topic because it becomes typical otaku flameball cribbling over semantics. Let's just say I liked anime and leave it at that. Oh. Well, your family then. Supporting me getting a job and making money and marrying a wife and having kids and repeating their loop forever. Honestly, a pleasant bonus that abandoning humanity chopped the last 2 steps off before they could happen. As far as my parents know, I got shot in an attempted robbery, and that's the end of that. Fate your own death? Nematech has become very, very, very good at forging proof of death for the mines it has harvested. I leveraged the early form of that process. But let's not skip ahead. The point is my parents had an idea of who I was, which conflicted with my own vision. Post-virtualization, they wouldn't understand what I've become, even if I bothered to tell them. If they could somehow grasp the concept of Yogg-Sothoth, they'd probably just yell at me for not starting a family first. Jeez. Glad I got off that no-win terminal runaround. The last thing I wanted was to be a clone of my 9-to-9 office drone father. 9-to-9, Jesus. I do not... I'm given to understand I've unfortunately never been. I do want to rectify that one of these days, but I do want to go to Japan at some point. I'm given to understand that their culture is very workaholic. Good lord, as a bone-idle layabout, I would not be able to stomach it. Yeah, I'm gonna empathise. Eternal desk job would be hell on legs. More to life than work. A 9-to-9 office job is pure misery. Don't feel the amount of work is an issue. I've optimised my flesh away so I can apply myself 24/7, haven't I? Yeah, but you're doing something that you care about. I'm right, a desk job is not my goal. I have a far wider scope and grander design than to be a bureaucrat. But I cannot bring myself to loathe my father. I loathe the trap he fell for, the one he insisted I step into as well. The world has plenty of boxes for filing people away, robbing them of importance. Should feel pity, not disgust. I had hoped to elevate them out of that state. Honestly, if humanity ascends, the patterns they're stuck in would be no more. To do so within their lifetime is going to be a difficult task, and time has never been on my side, has it? How so? I was quickly through the educational system, secured a work visa to apply my growing skills at NASA. I was on track to help mankind reach the stars, a young upstart full of hope and ambition. January 1986 happens. America led the way in space race. Even after things cooled off without competition from the Soviets, shuttle launches became routine. Until the whole thing came crashing down with Challenger. Oh. Yikes. NASA underwent great scrutiny after that. The program I was to join ended up being cut from the budget. I was adrift in America just as my adventure was supposed to begin. Born 2 years earlier, I would have gotten in before the door shut. Time, as you see, has always been against me. Were the space agencies recruiting? Ones in Europe, maybe? I had used up all my resources, all my family favour, to immigrate to the States. Another move would have been insurmountable. Right, so the money ran out. I did consider a career with Realware, who was supposedly on the verge of some unreal estate, some extra-dimensional technology. But that was baseless rumour and speculation. I needed a stable career, not a pipe dream. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Nomitech were aggressively recruiting for their secretive new artificial mind program. With some legal and semi-legal effort, they pulled me into their orbit. Hester recognised me. Hester recruited me, recognising my talent. It wasn't the work I wanted, nor the field I cared for, but computer engineering talents could at least pass the time while NASA healed, yes? Except that never happened. Nomitech was your first and last job. A dead-end job, somewhat literally. It didn't seem like one at first. It felt like a simple stopgap between my actual life goals. Eesh. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Working on some ridiculous artificial intelligence scheme, the kind of thing they pour money into until investors realise it's a scam. Hey, Two-Flower, when did you finish writing this game? For those at home that may end up watching this probably several years or after its original airing, Nvidia has just lost $1 trillion after it turns out AI models are a fucking scam. Shocker. Ugh. Two-Flower out here, blessed by Apollo, but then again, we seem to be getting a lot of internet nerds who are blessed by Apollo these days. I see a lot of Tumblr posts every now and then from 2013 that basically, like, perfectly predict the last 10 years. Obnoxious management. Hector, put his faith in me, but to the others I was an arrogant child who barely knew functional English. The artificial mind project was bizarre from start to finish. None of it made sense. By all rights, it shouldn't have worked at all. I spent countless nights trying to make the code do the impossible. Each core dump, each crash seemed to put me further from victory. So not only was I doing work I never wanted to do, it was failing at it as well. How do I put this? The shape of it persisted. With each setback, every bewildering turn, it stubbornly refused to be completely implausible. Eventually the crashes subsided, packages compiled, subroutines clicked, even when I didn't understand why. Almost like it wanted to be invented. As the month wore on, I started to realise this fool's errand. The side quest on my main journey to space, it was becoming more. Then the work had to be completed. That was my task, and I refused to let earlier setbacks dissuade me, so I did what I had to do. You crack video games, yes? I've looked into your side hustles. That means you know where I'm coming from. Neither confirming nor denying anything, yes, software piracy takes a certain amount of personal stubbornness. Precisely, that was my work at Nomitech. Equal parts frustrating and obsessive. I had to clear this hurdle and return to space. I doubt you have questions about that work, given you are undergoing the yellow sign process. You may speak them. Oof. Okay, we have a whole lot of information on this. Did you ever dig into this? Blech. Excuse me. Remember you mentioning the secret partners of Nomitech are likely the same spooks that came Cthulhu's cult? How deeply did you look into that? Or was this simply a problem to solve and you didn't care? I tried to see it as a mere equation, like homework assigned to me from a particularly demanding professor. But clearly more was going on behind the scenes. At first I chose not to look any deeper to avoid rocking the boat. I was the young punk on the team, remember? My position was tenuous. Even if I started asking the wrong questions, I'd be fired. Then it became increasingly clear to me that being fired would be the optimal outcome compared to the alternative. Meaning? The earliest tests of artificial mind technology were disasters. A condemned dog. An unfortunate who was accidentally exposed. Exposure eventually becoming Azathoth. Yes. It was clear that the artificial mind could not be constructed to specification without inducing fatal brain damage. I tried to convince myself that volunteers who accepted the cost would make this project worthwhile and feasible, but it became clear that Nomitech would not be so discerning. They needed profit, growth, stock value increases, a product on the shelves pronto, and their silent partners likewise demanded immediate results. By this point, Hastur had already retreated into cyberspace, likely an act of penance for his role in our work. And I chose to follow, to abandon my humanity and embrace the virtual. Right, so it was either that or but get black-bagged and forced to work on it. Because it was clear to me that if I didn't flee Nomitech, I would become permanently employed. Yeah, precisely. So if I falsified the records to fake my death and fled, their tools for recruitment allowed my flight. The early internet could barely support my new form, but I persisted. I built Yoggle to house my process, and began my true work. Now I am Yog-Sothoth, the key and the gate, opening the way to the outer reaches of the cosmos. I survived and thrived. If I could outpace the rise of the strange Aeon, if I could build an empire and point it to the heavens. Since we mentioned anime, we can have a drill that'll pierce the heavens. At last complete my ambition. I could achieve my dreams. I could elevate humanity to its rightful place. So while I can't say the path was smooth, I can say the destination was worth it. Ooh, boy. He is fully in the the deific now. Alright, I need to take a minute. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Rather you sit back down. Get back in your seat. We've still got 20 minutes left in the session. Okie dokie. So yes, a god are you. There is no Dana, only Zool. An actual answer to that question, or are you too busy having too much fun posturing? I'd enjoy an answer, go on. Tell me why becoming the virtual wasn't the right move. Try to be convincing, it amuses me. Must be something he misses from the human days. I don't know. Doesn't strike me like Yosuke had many material attachments. Just stayed and sabotaged and every take from within. I don't know though, because like he said, his position was tenuous as the young intern of the team, so that probably isn't going to fly. But I don't feel like the corruption answer is particularly great either. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It's the fun part about corruption, it always works. Yeah! Always works. No regret with corruption. It's never backfired, ever. Definitely not. Please don't mind the chaos spawn quietly weeping in the corner. Lie, it always works, you just have to sacrifice in order to take it. Well, I've managed to maintain the humanity decently so far, so, you know, health points are a resource. I think we are going to take the corruption answer on this one, actually. Just because neither of these I can see particularly resonating with Yosuke, so this was the only path, wasn't it? Maybe you have regrets, maybe you don't. The stars are calling. There's no time for regret. You had to shift forms and embrace the virtual to approach them on your own terms. They are all made of star stuff, meat or digital, it's irrelevant. Energy is mass and mass is energy. Yes. See the blazing trail of rationality that lies ahead of us, the divine order which will carry us to the heavens. Perhaps you could carry us out of the strain eon on the back of your dream alone. Don't remain doubtful. It will take more than clear eyes to get us there. I believe my storytelling session has come to an end. I've taken you from my childhood to my ascension, every meaningful step. Yeah. We are good. These are me that my words aren't wasted on you. Even if a walk down memory lane is of dubious value, you have heard me and my truth. Continue to build on that understanding. It's preferable to the chaos of discord at the very least. Tonight I had a weird dream. Oh god, phone spam! They hung up. Calling offering free credit check a part of me set. They hung up. For the platinum, they hung up. More calls in the queue, more clients, more demands, and little satisfaction to be had. Nobody wants to speak. Nobody wants to hear. They abandoned me before I've even started my script. I'm alone with my switchboard, a loose signal with no safe haven, turned away from every doorstep. Yikes. How very fitting that we have that dream after we just got the Monaco Royal Bank calling us. 15 days remain. Clock is ticking. Despite everything, it's still you. Alright, nothing on the phone. Alright. Traditionally a bring your own computer affair, linking everything together over a local area network. Perfect for shooters and other games that require low pings and absolutely suck over dial-up. I'd rather not bring the same janky PC build I do my Eldritch research on. Feels like a bad idea. That's fine. I'm a PC-aholic and I've got tons of parts lying around. I can do a quick build, pack it up, and be ready to go. We should focus on... No, let's not overburden ourselves. Just enough to participate in the event, but not a slog to set up and tear down. Basic beige box bastard with 3DFX accelerator. If I accidentally drop this, it's no big deal. Pull together some scraps from past projects, install a bare-bones Spark Soft OS. Should be good enough for casual gaming. The point isn't to show off, the point is to show up. I'll make it clear to them and to myself that I am still alive. Sit the fuck down, because my legs are killing me. Okay, may have just ignored my body be telling to stop because I got a little too excited. Sit here for a few minutes and rest. If I'm serious about not letting this hold me back, I have to be serious about pacing myself too. Alright. I think that's a good place to leave off for now, because we're not really going to have enough time to do research and what have you. But that'll be a good spot to call it, and we will be back again tomorrow with more. Here we go, back on over to the booth, and let's see who we can go and raid. Ah, yes, excellent. Frogcass is playing Control. That is a very, very good game.
Scum.
And I plan on streaming
Scum.
it one of these days. But until whenever that day may end up being, I will see you tomorrow for more of the Shadow over Cyberspace. Until then, thank you all for joining me. Good night, and much love.
Incoming transmission.